Hello, my name is William Connor, professor in the Department of Forestry and Environmental Conservation here at Clemson. It's my pleasure this year to introduce you to Dr. John W. Day, Jr., Professor Emeritus in the Department of Oceanography and Coastal Sciences at LSU. John started his career in 1971 at LSU, quickly working his way up to professor in 1980 and Professor Emeritus in 2005. John's research interests are varied, ranging from estuarine ecology, tropical ecology, systems analysis, and sustainability, among a variety of other things that he's dabbled in through the years. I was one of the first students that John took on in 1973, and I quickly learned that he had a very inquiring and inquisitive mind, always looking into things, and he once told us jokingly that the university paid him to think, and he was thinking all the time, and he was. And I think he still is. He's been the author or editor of 18 books, author or co-author of over 250 peer-reviewed papers with a total publication list over 400 now. John said he was going to be slowing down as he retired, but actually it seems like he's gotten more involved. And in 2019 alone had 13 peer-reviewed papers, and told me that he has over 20 more in the works, of which I am proud to say that I'm on some of those that he's working on. During his career, John has always impressed upon his students the importance of wetlands and the impact man and nature has had on these wetlands. And we come away with understanding from John that we need to preserve and protect these wetlands for the future generations that are coming behind us because of all the important ecosystem services that these wetlands provide us. I can think of no better person for this year's award, and it's been my honor to work with John for the last 47 years. And to him I say, congratulations.
First, I'd like to say it's an honor to receive the Benton Box Award, and I want to thank the board of advisors and the faculty of the Institute of Parks for selecting me for this award. I'm a Louisiana native and attended LSU for my bachelor's and master's degree, and then I received my Ph.D. at the University of North Carolina, where I studied with the noted ecologist, Dr. Howard T. Odom. His holistic vision served as a worldview for my entire career. I returned to LSU in 1971 to the Oceanography program with the Mississippi Delta at my doorstep. I began working in saline marshes and estuarine waters, as well as freshwater swamp forests. Dr. William Connor, who's a faculty member at Clemson now, along with Dr. Charles Hopkinson, were among my first 4 students. William's master's thesis and subsequent publications was one of the early important papers on forested wetland ecology. Professors often try to keep their best students around for a while, and this was the case for William. And as often the case, the professor becomes the student. He and I are still publishing many papers together, and we're working on a couple right now. Coming from a holistic systems ecology beginning, I look broadly at the Mississippi Delta using the concept of the macroscope, as Odom called it. By the mid-1970s, I developed an interest in tropical coastal ecology. This resulted in my first sabbatical in southern Mexico in 1978 and 79, studying the Laguna de Terminos, a large estuarine embayment surrounded by one of the largest stands of mangroves in Mesoamerica. This introduced me to the Usumacinta-Grijalva River and Delta, the second largest delta system in the Gulf of Mexico. This led to more than 40 years of study of ecology and management of tropical coastal systems. I met Dr. Alejandro Yanez, and was the case with Dr. Connor, this developed into a long and productive relationship with numerous books and reports. My interest in deltas in general grew, and it became clear that this meant looking at deltas globally. Because the Mississippi Basin and Delta so dominate much of North America, and the Delta is the only major one in the lower 48 states, this led to much international work. I spent 3 sabbaticals in Europe, the Netherlands in 1986 studying the Rhine Delta, southern France in 1992-93 studying Mediterranean deltas, and Cambridge University in 2000 working on summarizing this information. In all, I've spent more than 8 years out of the country. I became involved with an international group of Delta experts, and this led to a series of synthesis papers on the functioning and management and sustainability of deltas. In the 1990s, I began to focus on energy, both as a driver of climate change and its role in the development of modern society, as well as the origins of civilization. The short period when humans will have abundant and cheap energy has important implications for the future of societal sustainability, both environmentally and socially. So I began studying sustainability issues. If humans are to come out of their present quandary of a profoundly unsustainable trajectory of environmental degradation, resource scarcity, and climate impacts without a bleak, violent future, we will have to learn to value and sustain the earth. And this is a focus of the final phase of my career. On February 1st, 2021, I will have been at LSU for 50 years. During this time, I've mentored 70 graduate students, published more than 400 papers with more than 500 co-authors, and have been cited more than 25,000 times. There was much to enjoy, much that was exciting and rewarding, and perhaps the most important was the people who I met and worked with. Thank you very much.